Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. We are from History of English Language A class. We are from Group 3, and right now we are going to present about Middle English to Early Modern English material. My friend Sandra, can you help me to share screen the presentation? Okay. Like I said, we already share screen representation, and we're going to talk about Middle English to Early Modern English. My name is Cysakaren Diva Pratiwi with the last number 16. Okay. Next. Yeah. First of all, we're going to talk about the external influence on pronunciation. The main developments of English that happened in the Middle English and early modern English periods has impacted a change in certain vowel sounds pronunciation. This development was known as the Great Vowel Shift. This occurred on 1400 and 1750 and involved a big modification in the pronunciation of long vowels in English. For example, the word long in this sense refers to the duration of the pronunciation. For example, again, the word sit, S-I-T, contains the short vowel I, while the word sit contains its long counterpart. Sit, it should sound more like you are pronouncing sit, S-E-A-T. Next. The thing that happened during the Great Vowel Shift was that the way in which people pronounced long vowel sounds altered and the long vowels in English were raised. That is, the position of the tongue during the production of long vowel sounds changed over time, so that gradually it moved closer to the roof of the mouth. The Great Vowel Shift thus had a considerable impact on the pronunciation of words and also on spelling. This has been a complex discussion because the role of social factors have been considered to playing a cause in it. The causes of the Great Vowel Shift have never been definitely established, and there has been a considerable amount of disagreement between every scholars. That's it from me. Next, my friend Sandra will continue.
Hi everyone, I'm Ikhsanda Firli with student number 017. Will describe about the cause of linguistic change in contemporary English based on the scholar. Scholar number 1 is LaBeouf in 1966. LaBeouf carried out a groundbreaking sociolinguistic study of variety of English use in New York, conclude that the term of social group and the main driver of change of language in middle class. An article LaBeouf writes in 1974-78 also suggests that the early modern period long vowel shift may have been motivated by the merchant classes being influenced by variety that views as being particularly prestigious and which they then either conscious or subconsciously emulated. LaBeouf hypothesis in word quoting at social process in change in language. A linguistic change begins as a local pattern characteristic of particular social group, often result of immigrant from another region. It becomes general throughout the group and become associated with the social value attribute to that group. And it become a stereotypes. And also the British of sociolinguistic Peter Turgill in 1974 mentioned his similar conclusion in his famous study of language uses in relation to social class in Norwich. The next would described by my friend.
Okay, next, I'm gonna explain about the Wycliffe translation. So, One of the events that was to have an impact on the development of English in the early modern period was the publication of the Bible in English. As a student, it is essential to follow the evolution of the Bible in English in order to figure out how it will affect English as a whole. So I hope you guys pay attention to our explanation. During the Middle English period, there were effectively three languages in use in England: French, English, and Latin. There was absolutely a clear hierarchy associated with the use of these languages. Only the educated people would have been able to read and understand Latin. Few people would have had more than a passing familiarity with the Latin because church services were conducted entirely in English. However, the situation changed when an Oxford professor, John Wycliffe, produced an unauthorized translation of the Bible into English between 1380 and 1382. The translation of the Bible into English was to affect the English language in a number of ways over the early modern period, and to comprehend the changes it is necessary, first of all, to understand the impact of Wycliffe's translation in the late Middle Age. Next, the Lollards, a group of traveling priests, distributed Wycliffe's Bible all across the country. This had the unintended consequence of raising literacy level among the general populace. People learned to read in order to read Wycliffe's Bible for themselves at a time when literacy was not common. However, not everybody was happy about this development, especially not the court. Wycliffe was put on trial in 1382 in Blackfriars in London by a special senate. He was found guilty of heresy. A parliamentary ban was imposed on his English translation of the Bible, and the arrest and prosecution of the all lords was ordered. However, the English translation of the Bible was not finished yet. Next will be presented by my friend.
Okay, I'm Dita Winastiya Prameswari with the history student number 12. And now we move to William Tyndale's translation. Similar to Wycliffe's steps, William Tyndale also did Bible translation. But what he did was a step further than Wycliffe's. He translates the original Hebrew and Greek into English. This translation turned out to have a great influence, and also the existence of printing press made it easier to copy the translated Bible. So that, at that time, thousands of pocket-sized copies were printed in Cologne and smuggled into England. But the Church was afraid of the effect of this translation. So Henry VIII put the whole country on alert, and many of the Bibles were intercepted. Even the Bishop of London went so far as to buy an entire ship simply to destroy them. And with the opposition from the Church, what did Tyndale do? Did he give up? The answer is no. Tyndale instead used the sales profit from previous Bible sales to produce better quality translation of the Bible, both the Old Testament and the New Testament. And unfortunately, this translation of the Bible is still considered heretical, so that in 1536, Tyndale was executed on charge of heresy. However, within 3 years, Henry VIII changed his view, continuing on to orders and regulations. In 1539, Henry ordered the production of the first official English Bible, and every church in England was instructed to buy one. It was this great Bible that was to be the basis of the King James Bible, or the Authorized Version, published in 1611. The writers of this text looked to Tyndale's and Wycliffe's translation, and the real impact of the King James Bible was to make English the language of religion in England. Okay, the next will be presented by my friend.
Hello, my name is Marzuqi Ismail. My last number is 15. And the influence of Tyndale's Bibles was tremendous. It triggered the growth of literacy with people learning to read specifically so that they could study the Bible in English. As knowledge explains, people reading will be a strong motivation for learning to read in the first place, since it enabled readers to form opinions independently of the traditional authorities of church and state. Tyndale's Bible gave us many words and phrases that we still use today. The spread of ideas and the impact of the Bible, both on literacy and on the development of English, generally were greatly affected by the development of a standard form of English. In turn, the production of multiple copies of books reinforced this standard and helped in making it more widely recognized. Okay, that was our presentation from our group. We apologize for any mistake and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.